the traditional home of football in Queensland, Perry Park. It's now the base for the Brisbane Strikers in the NPL Queensland. It'll be one of their arch rivals that graces centre stage this evening. It's the biggest night in Redlands' almost 100-year existence. Their first appearance at this stage of the competition provides the opportunity to claim the biggest scalp of them all against the current A-League premiers and champions and 2014 Westfield FFA Cup winners in Adelaide United. Now out on the pitch as we take a look at the Redlands team lineup for tonight. And they come off a 2-0 loss to the Far North Queensland Heat in Innisfail on the weekend. Brazilian midfielder Igor Say Jose was the Brisbane Premier League Player of the Year in 2014, but starts off the bench this evening. Michael Lee brings attacking creativeness and flair to the side, while Graham Fife is the heart and soul of the club. The former Celtic youth player is also the junior technical director at the club. For Adelaide United, it's a makeshift side that bears little resemblance to the squad that played in last year's A-League Grand Final. A host of players have left the club in recent weeks, and combined with injuries, that has caused headaches for coach Guy Moore in being able to string together a starting 11. Youngster Riley McGree, more normally a midfielder, plays up top this evening, but does have goal-scoring pedigree, scoring 3 goals in 2 appearances for the national under-17 side. So all in readiness to get us underway in this round of 32 match from Perry Park in Brisbane. It's Adelaide United up against the home side this evening, Redlands United. My co-commentator this evening is former Adelaide United coach and now coach of Brisbane City in the NPL Queensland in John Cosmina. And John, we saw Green Gully cause the ultimate upset last night against an A-League club. It's Redlands' turn to try and accomplish the same feat this evening. Yes,
it is, Rath, and good evening, everyone. Look, it's a big occasion for Redlands, as we discussed, and it's the biggest game probably in their 100-year history. But look, Adelaide United, despite being a little bit undermanned, have still got a lot of quality out there, and I will be surprised if Redlands can actually get up. But the thing is, Redlands, as I found out playing against them or coaching against them in the NPL here, they're a tough side. And one thing they can do is battle well, and they'll be organised, and that'll make it tough for Adelaide United tonight. And it's the conditions here wouldn't help either.
We've already had some early action. Back to Garby in the studio.
A goal in the first 5 minutes in the all A-League clash between the Jets and the Victory in Newcastle.
Victory win out. Sparrow finds Calfella. Kazanich is in some space, so too Barisha. Calfella going to go on his own. Can he provide the service? It's a great ball! And Bessart Barisha, it's taken him 4.5 minutes, and he's on the back of the net.
Might see a different tactic this time round. Whipped in towards the penalty spot and headed over the bar there by LaRocca. And there's an Adelaide United player down there in the background. It is LaRocca, who's obviously suffered a bit of a head clash there. Let's take a second look at that on the replay.
Yeah, if you have a look there, Wraith, Redlands defending in a zonal formation on the front of the 6-yard box there, but LaRocca managed to find some space and had a free header that he probably wishes was on target, but at least he would have got some joy about getting a smack on the jaw in the process.
Hands on the head and receiving some attention at the moment. Maybe perhaps a little bit of blurred vision there in the background. And looks like the team doctor now coming onto the pitch to provide a second opinion. That'll just cause a little bit of a delay here as LaRocca is attended to. So John Cosmina has provided his opinion on this match, as I said, as both the former Adelaide United coach, and Redlands were the side that knocked out his Brisbane City side out of the FFA Cup, and it seems as though an article that was published in the Advertiser today they've used as some sort of motivation, perhaps, John.
Yeah, I find it interesting. I mean, it's Typical of our Migliaccio, the journalist, to pump it up a little bit. I didn't actually say United would destroy Redlands, but what I actually said was I think Adelaide United shouldn't lose to a team like Redlands. That you know, when you get to this level, you've got the quality of the players here, and Redlands have been having a bad trot in the local competition. Adelaide United should not win comfortably, but they should come out of it with the pass into the next round. But you know, as I said, it's the FFA Cup, and strange things do happen. And you can see Adelaide now. It looks like LaRocca is that little knock's a little bit worse than maybe first thought. He's being stretchered off, which isn't a pretty sight.
Sorry, John, we're just going to go back to Garby in the studio.
Yeah, just around the grounds very briefly, boys. Still 1-0 to the victory over Newcastle. The old firm combined there. Ben Kalfala into Bessa Berisha for his 9th goal in 9 FFA Cup games. With the victory 1-0 up in the All A-League clash. It is still 0-0 in the clash between Canberra Olympic and Surfers Paradise Apollo. And of course the game yet to start between Bonnyrigg and Manly because of the delay getting the Manly manager to the game because of the traffic. He's got the team's kits in his bag, so they can't start the game. We'll keep you up to date with that game as soon as it commences though.
Early possession stats coming through, as you've probably noticed. Adelaide United with the bulk of the possession, 73% of it so far. Is this just a matter of being patient here for the A-League side, Cozzy?
You have to be when you get teams defending as deep as Redlands are, as we can see. And there's a perfect example of what I was saying before. McGowan trying to look for the penetrating pass, but there's just red shirts in the road, and that's where you have to start moving the ball sideways and keep going and then come back again until you can find that little gap.
There's a good opportunity here for Adelaide United in good attacking territory.
Well, if we hark back to the grand final, Wraith, it was a not too dissimilar position to where you say he scored that first goal against the Western Sydney Wanderers from.
3 of them crowding around it, in fact. Karuska's still there. So too is Makarunas. So Kersey just setting up the wall. Now we're ready to go. Free kick played in, and Brendan White saves it there at the near post. White, one of the better keepers going around in Queensland. He's one to watch. Part of Gold Coast United's under-21 squad, and also had an injury replacement contract at the Brisbane Roar. He sat on the bench for a pre-season game against the Central Coast Mariners a couple of years ago. He's another one of Redlands players who's had a wretched run of injuries through the year, and almost 3 months out. He's just come back in time for the FFA Cup. Came back into the squad 2 or 3 weeks ago. Once again, that ball just drifting up in the breeze, just being held up. Michael Lee was the... Sorry, Paul O'Brien was the target that time round.
It is slightly into the face of the Redlands players and is making it difficult, as if you've got a shot of us standing here exposed to the elements would attest. But maybe things will get better for them in the second half. With McGowan, they're finding no problem switching play to Bengariccio.
Just held up, played back for Karuska. They're trying to move it on a bit quickly and try and confuse that Redlands defence with the quick ball. So I was in Cairns last week, Cozzy, and I can tell you, completely different experience here tonight. It must be Eka time in Brisbane. It's when the Westerlies tend to roll in.
It's like the 1st of August came on Monday and the wind came with it.
So that's free kick again, and White held on to it at the near post. Steady hands from the Redlands gloveman. Touch on from Kiddo, and White gets there in the nick of time. Bree was continuing on his run for the free kick, and it's going to go Adelaide United's way. They've taken it quickly here. Kiddo defended away, out for another corner.
Tell you, I've been impressed with Ryan Kitto's start to this match, Wraith. He's been a little bit electric, and he is a lefty, playing outside the wing on that right-hand side. But I think he's a little bit unfortunate not to regain a contract at Newcastle for this season. But I think the outcome is probably more than happy with being back home in Adelaide.
No one there for Adelaide. They're giving away another free kick here. Have Redlands. For Adam Kersey picking one out there. Elsie plays it on for Ochieng. McGowan for SAS. Now Elsie. Far side of the park. Fife. The talisman for Redlands, Graham Fife. Scored both goals coming off the bench to see Redlands through to the round of 32 this year when they defeated Brisbane Premier League side Rochedale Rovers. Now they're into the box, Adelaide United, and McGree steers that one over the bar. They're starting to show some intent here, Adelaide United, Cozzy.
Yeah, they're getting good possession around the edge of the box, and that time it was a good penetrating pass from SAS in early to Jesse Macaronis that had actually filled in into a central striking role. And in the end, they got him behind a little bit, and it, probably, I think, young McCree would have been a little bit disappointed with the way that he finished that.
Over the head there of Grant Bricks. Looking for options for the throw, and he's crunched by Russell Woodruff. We'll get a stern talking to from Adam Kersey after that one. Give it to the young boy, straight back to his feet though. We'll see once more, square for McGowan. Chieng, that wind whips up here again once more. O'Brien coming away with it here for Redlands. Back for Lee, switch out to Fife. Making the looping run was Bricks. Instead, Fife plays it along the ground. Touch on from Lee. And Langley just unable to react there in time, but they've made up for his mistake and won his side back possession. Plenty of talk going out there from the two central defenders and the goalkeeper in which way to steer the ball. On here for McGree. Now Karuska, straight to White. Take a look at that on the replay. White diving to his right. Not too much effort required there. Lee was held on to. Fife down the line. And he's going to have to get on his bike there to get it before McGowan, who plays it back for Galekovic. And the skipper, McGowan again to start the play from inside his own half. Beating the offside trap here has Michael Lee. And McGowan. The frustration there. Redlands have their corner.
Redlands have done well the last few moments in terms of putting pressure back on United and actually trying to win the ball in the middle third of the pitch, and that's what's brought them to the situation where they've earned this corner. They picked the gap. Adelaide United trying to play out. Marco Chen caught a little bit high, and McGowan caught a little bit ball watching and out of position in the middle of the park.
Corner here from O'Brien, although it's just going to be held up momentarily as Adam Kersey.
Slightly different setup to the way United set up for their corners.
Galekovic just organising his troops. Kersey, the referee, just keeping a close eye on things as Certainly a bunch of players inside the 6-yard box as this corner is delivered in. Searching for it out there now is Halliday. On the ground. Now behind the goal. Lets up a cheer. Langley. Now it's Bricks. Green does have pace. Switch there for Woodruff. Didn't quite come off for Redlands that time round. Getting under a little bit of pressure in their defensive territory. Goes past Green.
I think the wind blew that one out. I don't think it had anything to do with the quality of the ball upfield.
And the chapstick later on. Adelaide United once more. Now we're there on a bit of a run. Redlands coach Matt Chandler there. Quite restrained on the bench, quite calm and relaxed usually, and he's certainly displaying that demeanour so far.
There hasn't been too much to get upset about. His team has defended most situations quite well, given the possession certainly against them.
Adelaide United just at the edge of the box. Kiddo has been heavily involved early on in this match. Gowan again getting involved there at the edge of the 18-yard line. Makarunas. Karuska. Kiddo. SAS. Once again, it's patient possession from the A-League champions. It's delivered in towards Karuska. There's plenty of red shirts back there, as Cozzy has mentioned. McGowan, with all the team woes at Adelaide United, almost fancied that he might have got the job up top this evening. That one too high there from Ochieng.
I think it was a lot worse than that, to be honest, Ray. It wasn't just too high, it was nowhere near where he wanted it to go either. But
I was being complimentary.
You don't need to be so kind.
Chested on there by Green. Now we're going to have a chat with Redlands coach Matt Chandler. Good evening, Matt. How are you? How do you think of your side's progress so far?
Oh, I'm reasonably pleased with how we're going so far. Yeah, I mean, obviously we've had a couple of chances, but so have we, and I think that call was quite exciting. So yeah, we're pleased with how we're set up defensively. We just got to be a little bit more patient when we get the ball and keep it better.
And were there any particular instructions that you gave to the side before the start of the match?
It was definitely about defending correctly and then attacking offensively with pace when we had the ball.
Well, thanks very much for your time, Matt Chandler, and best of luck in this round of 32 tie.
No problem, thank you.
Don't want to bring up bad wounds, Cosy, but of course Redlands were the side that knocked out your Brisbane City through the stages of the FFA Cup, and you're due to meet them in a couple of weeks' time, and what's almost shaping up as a playoff before the semi-finals of the NPL Queensland to try and get into that top 4.
It could be as well. I mean, at City, we've probably thrown away more than a handful of good opportunities to cement a spot in a finals position and haven't taken it. So we've got to grand finals every week now. And look, that FFA Cup match wasn't our greatest performance, but it certainly wasn't our worst either. And Redlands only beat us through the courtesy of an own goal. And we've proven that we're not a very good side in the middle of the week. We're much better on weekends. I think that's probably got a little bit to do with the mindset at this level of football.
Karuska.
But that Redlands side has changed a bit since then as well. They've lost 2 or 3 players, and probably one of the reasons for their lack of consistency, I guess, in the local comp is that Fife has been out injured for a fairly lengthy period of time. He's only just come back into the side, but he's a very influential player, and he's the heart and soul of that team. Makes things tick in the middle of the park, as we can see so far tonight.
Talked about that their season has been injury ravaged to key players. They also lost the Frenchman Nico Béchard in recent weeks. They won 5 in a row earlier in the season, but they are in the thick of the premiership hunt. But form has certainly taken a dive in recent times, winning just 3 of their last 10. And after being in the premiership race, as I said, they now find themselves in a bit of a battle to just make it through to the top 4 final series here in Queensland.
Please now head to the meeting point.
SAS. Impatience here from Adelaide United as Chiang. Playing it on to the left-hand side. SAS again. Gowan. Ching. SAS. SAS almost looked as though he was going to fire there from long distance. Thought better of it. Here's Karuska going through the middle of the box. And Redlands scrambled to defend that one away out for a corner, Cozzy.
Yeah, you can see the beauty of Marcello Karuska there and how composed he was in a very tight situation. Great bit of skill to get past the first man. Drags it onto his right foot, but a great lunging challenge from Redlands to save that. They've earned themselves another corner now.
Michael McGowan it was with that crucial last-ditch tackle there for Redlands on the previous phase of play, and then Brendan White called into action. Thought the wind might have just got to that ball and he had to make a last-minute decision. So from the opposite side this time around for Adelaide United. It's going to swing out for a throw-in.
Wind playing havoc with corners from both sides of the pitch there.
Redlands the second oldest club in Queensland.
Who is the oldest, bro?
I think it's Barton Latrobe who have their 100th anniversary this year. In fact, they had a big day planned here about 3 or 4 weeks ago where they shifted their match from suburban Barton into the headquarters of Queensland football, and unfortunately the rain got to the day and they never got to play on the big pitch.
What is the headquarters of Queensland football? Yeah, so Perry Park used to be the headquarters.
It used to be, didn't it?
I think you'd put a lot of noses out of John if you still said it remained that way.
Sure, it has a home in the heart of many people.
Look, I spent 5 years here.
I was about to say. Former Brisbane Strikers coach yourself in the National Soccer League days. Fond times, Cosy, or?
Yeah, it was a good time. It was an interesting stage of football, not just in Queensland, but in Australia. It was in I guess the latter years. My last, I spent, there was one more season. After I left the Strikers, I went to Adelaide United, and the Strikers had one more year, and that was the end of the NSL. It was a struggle to stay alive, to be honest. The clubs really found it difficult to keep their head above water. but that was indicative of the state of the game back then, and what a vast difference we see now. And it's not that long ago, it was only 13 years ago I left here, and here we've got an A-League club, fully professional, in a fairly substantial and healthy national competition, playing against a semi-pro side in a cup competition that people dreamed about having in Australia for years but could never make it work. And you've got to take your hat off to the FFA for getting this up and running and making the success of it that it has become.
Such a brilliant competition, almost 700 clubs, of course, started out the journey through the preliminary rounds. Langley gives that one away. Adelaide United again look to build something here. Trying to round the defender there in Adam Chandler. Adam Chandler, the son of coach Matt Chandler. More normally been a left back through the early part of the season, but in recent weeks has switched out to the right. This one drifted high above the hands of White. It's going to fall safely here for Redlands. And we've had a goal around the grounds. Garby, what's happening?
A goal in the nation's capital, Rafe, in the clash between Canberra Olympic and Surfers Paradise Apollo.
Felizardo. And now here's an opportunity for the home side. This is the man, Felipe Bernardo Madrid. And there is the opener. 1-0 here in Canberra. Felipe Bernardo Madrid, prolific goal scorer through the...
Filippo Bernardo Madrid, he is the star striker for Canberra Olympic. That's his 12th goal of the season. But there is some drama in the game between the Victory and Newcastle Jets. Still 1-0 to the Victory, as you can see. But I can tell you that the man who put them ahead, Besart Berisha, has been forced off inside half an hour. You can see the vision now. It doesn't look to be too serious because he is walking off, but that is a concerning sight for Melbourne Victory fans. Their star striker, Besart Berisha, forced off with an injury inside half an hour.
So White will go long with this goal kick. Here's Woodruff. McGowan's got enough pace, it looks like, to stave him off. Woodruff fighting hard for the ball, though.
Pace and strength.
Mentioned that Russell Woodruff was a former Central Coast Mariner youth player and also represented Australia at junior levels. Now 31 years old.
I wish I was 31.
Did you? What were you doing when you were 31, Cosy?
I think I was playing at Sydney Olympic then in the NSL. Long time ago.
Coming up into the shadows of half-time. So yes, loses out there to Halliday. Once again, referee Adam Kersey's picked out a free kick here behind the scenes.
A little bit late there from SAS. I think he was a bit frustrated that he carried the ball as far as he did and then actually gave it away.
See an indication shortly from the fourth official of how much stoppage time we'll have in this first half. Of course, the injury to LaRocca will add a little bit more than normal than we're expected to, a first half stoppage time.
I haven't seen too much of Ben Garuccio, who's a player that was, for me, maybe a little bit surprising release from Melbourne City last season. I think he did a fairly good job. although he did become a little bit consistent in the back end of the season last time round. But Adelaide United, he is a local boy. Went from the AIS straight to Melbourne Heart as it was back then, and chose to bypass Adelaide, but he's back there now. He can play up high as he is tonight, or in a deeper role as a left fullback, but he hasn't, for me, really displayed the quality when he has had possession tonight. And Adelaide United have looked for that switch of play, maybe with the wind blowing across the pitch from the grandstand side towards our commentary position. We might see a little bit more of him on the ball in that second half, because that side, I think, is probably where, if Adelaide United are going to get in, it will be there.
Fourth official, Casey Rybeld, indicated 3 minutes of stoppage time in this first stanza. So can one of these sides break through? Be a handy little goal, obviously, to take the advantage into the half-time break. Adelaide United looking the best to try and score the goal. Kiddo straight into the defender, but as we've mentioned on a number of times, it's been a stout Redlands defence so far. And Adelaide United just having some difficulties in being able to break them down. Ochieng plays along the ground. Fife battles for the ball there, and is then inside himself a free kick. Let's take a look at that. Half a penalty shout there.
Oh, I don't think so. I think the Redlands player got there first, and a fair challenge as well. It's worth a try, though.
Not too many complaints or any complaints, in fact. It's a good decision by Adam Kersey to keep the whistle by his side. Some dying embers of this first half. Let's go back for Ochieng, almost losing that one to Woodruff.
I'd be happy with some dying embers beneath our commentary position. At least it would be warmer than it is at the moment.
If someone's in the vicinity of Perry Park, can you bring in a wood fire or something like that? Patio heater. Boys last night were going on about some heating into the commentary box at Green Gully. Be good to have some of that here this evening. It's totally different climate to what we've had in the last few weeks in Brisbane. As Kruska goes down. Green on that far side. Comes again for Redlands. And that's half-time at Perry Park. And after the first 45 minutes, there's... So half-time at Perry Park. It's Redlands United 0, Adelaide United 0.
Day 3 in the round of 32 in the Westfield FFA Cup. We're about to get back to our feature game between Redlands United and Adelaide United. Scores level there at 0-0, but we've had an equaliser in the All A-League clash between the Newcastle Jets and the Melbourne Victory, and it's another wonder goal in the round of 32.
It's another quality goal. Wayne Brown, their new signing, Arthur. Look at this.
He's meant to do that. Top. Oh, it's something
He's
special.
chipped in from there. He's seen him one touch and he's already just dinked it off the next one. And look, I know we're seeing a trend with obviously goalkeepers getting caught off their line as well, which is interesting goalkeeper technical point
So
of
we
view
need
as well.
Bozza in here to hammer the
Probably
keepers
need
and
Bozza
go
to give his
and
opinion.
analyse the keepers, what's going on.
Now, Robbie, that strike is reminiscent of your old Southampton teammate.
Matthew Letizia scored so many goals like that. I mean, that's a big comparison, but good. I mean, fair play to the kid. That's a great goal.
A great start to Wayne Brown's time at the Newcastle Jets, the former Fulham product. It looks like there could be a penalty there perhaps in that game. We'll get back there shortly, but let's go out to Perry Park. The second half about to commence. Your commentators are John Cosmina and Rafe Griffin.
Thanks very much, Garby. And once again, the wind has picked up as the second half commences. And John Cosmina, do you think might have been the instructions from the respective sides? I guess for Redlands coach Matt Chandler, more of the same, but what would have Guillaume Moore's instructions been for Adelaide United to try and break down
Moore
the defence?
doesn't like to change things too much. I think he was pretty comfortable with the way that they played. If anything, I think he'd want a little bit more penetration and probably look to penetrate a bit quicker. When the opportunity is on to play the ball forward, can they get it into the feet of McGree? And that's one thing that I think they have been missing. This is where Bruce Chaté was so strong for the club. He was always available as a target and he could hold that ball up. Now we see McGree early in the piece now receiving. This is the first time he actually come off and received from a back four player. So I think that would have been the instruction there with Redlands, and a shot there from Tarek Elrig coming inside. I think they would have just wanted a little bit more of the same. Just keep your shape, don't panic. The wind is probably a little bit in their favour at the moment, and so consequently they might be able to catch United out, as they have done almost on a couple of occasions, just with that little ball over the top that turned the defenders around and getting good forward runs from Michael Lee and the like.
You mentioned Bruce Chaté. It's a good segue into the recent departures, as we're going to go back to Garby in the studios. The goal around the grounds.
Goals are flowing now. The Jets equalised just after half-time, but now the Victory have a penalty.
Take two. Once again in the near post. Oh, he's given a penalty, has he?
Oh, he has two.
He's pointed straight to the spot, Alan Milliner. Well, the way to replay on that, he had no hesitation. Present it from the penalty spot, and he's ice cool. And the Victory have their lead back. The Jets were level for all of 3 minutes.
So Wayne Brown equalised for Newcastle. The Victory go ahead once more through Ollie Bozanic from the penalty spot.
Adelaide United have just had the one pre-season trial coming into this game. They won. This was a good phase of play for Redlands. Woodruff just can't control it there at the end, but gives the thumbs up for the cross that was played in. Looks to be Michael Lee, and Woodruff just couldn't quite get that one right. Yes, Adelaide United were 5-0 winners against the South Australian State League 2 team Northern Demons in Port Pirie on the 17th of July. So we are at that sort of time of year, Cozzy, where the A-League teams are just starting to get back into pre-season action, while teams like Redlands, the NPL teams, have a bit of an advantage at this time of year in theory in terms of the time played.
Yeah, I think what you need to look at with the A-League teams, though, is that they play a much longer season, obviously train a lot more often at a lot higher intensity, so their base fitness level is naturally higher. So you can see, certainly looking at, if you wanted to compare body for body, athlete for athlete, between Redlands and Adelaide United, I can tell you who looks a little bit stronger and a bit more athletic. But it's teams like Redlands they're in their groove at the moment. They've been playing for long periods of time, and they can adapt to situations that do arise. United is still trying to find their way. This is a new squad. I think Ryan Kiddo's fitted in quite well. Obviously, they're missing a number 9, young McCree, I think. Been a bit busier this half, but in terms of getting match practice, yeah, you're right. United have only had the one game, and I think that was a match where maybe Sergio Therio has picked up a bit of a knock where it might be suspected broken bone in his foot, which wouldn't be another good thing for United to have on their list of concerns.
Hassling there, and White will eventually get to it. Of course, as we said, you're a coach of an NPL side, and many of these players putting themselves in the shop window. And has been talked about the step up from NPL to the A-League. There's, I guess, been very few players who have done that. Jai Ingham is one I can think of. What are the differences between the two levels of football, and how will a prospective NPL player make that step up?
Well, one of the most difficult things an NPL player has to cope with, stepping up to the A-League, is just the frequency of training. You know, you play, or you train 3 times a week, maybe 4 in the NPL, have a game on the weekend, and with A-League, obviously, you're training every day, and sometimes double sessions, certainly in pre-season, and an NPL player's body doesn't deal with that too well, and hence you'd see there's been a history of NPL players that have gone in for trials at A-League clubs and come out 2 weeks later completely shattered. And that's one of the reasons why. But you can see that to be able to perform skills at pace under pressure, and you can see the difference in. I would take young Woodruff's, Russell Woodruff's attempt earlier, the cross that came in, and he miscontrolled it. Adelaide United player probably would have got that touch on the ground and maybe looked to create a scoring situation. And it's just those little differences that they're only minor, but they're massive when you try to make that step up from one level to another. There's a big gap between the A-League and the NPL, and I think this is something that Football Australia really needs to address, because if you're looking at the NPLs and competitions in each state being the second tier of professional football or semi-professional football in this country, then they need to do something to close that gap.
Searching ball there for Karuska. Chandler didn't know where it went. Allowed Karuska to get it second time round, then he loses out to Chandler. Lee, 2 black shirts there to deal with. Still fighting valiantly though. Test of possession does fall Redlands' way. Good challenge there from McGowan.
Good strength again.
Now McGowan getting towards the edge of the box. And again, the red shirts intervene.
The closet striker emerged.
Perhaps Kia Moore has been vindicated there, perhaps, in Dylan McGowan's non-selection up front.
I think he looked like he may be a striker until he got to the edge of the box and was confronted with a couple of defenders, and that was where the striking prowess went out the window.
He had tongue-in-cheek when he talked about his centre-forward aspirations. And the goal has come here through Ryan Kiddo for Adelaide United. The deadlock has finally been broken. And Adelaide United take a 1-0 lead here against Redlands United. And you can just feel the air come out around the ground.
Well, maybe Kiddo a little bit fortunate here, but he does well. He's threatened all night. He looked to play that ball in to McCree, and he got a lucky bobble, but then showed the composure just to settle himself. And see, there's that bobble there I was talking about. It's fallen nicely for him. It hits it first time, takes the early shot, keeper's unsettled, not getting set and in good position, and back of the net, 1-0 for Adelaide United.
Elrich. Macaronis for SES. Adelaide going down that right touch line, and the referee Adam Kersey in consultation with the assistant. We're going to see the yellow card go along with the free kick here.
A little bit of cramp to boot.
Adding injury to insult. Marcello Karuska in there to help the Redlands United player. Just stretch out that cramp. Grant Brits it is. That will pick up the caution. Looks like he's going to the sideline as well. So
I actually don't really see much of a foul in that, to be perfectly honest. He's had a bit of a lunge there, and injured himself into the process. Ryan Kitto using his speed, obviously, to get past him, but I thought there was a little bit of boot from the Redlands player, Bricks, in that contact. On the ball, that is, not on Ryan Kitto.
A bit of experience paying off there for the A-League player.
Are you suggesting he made the most of that situation?
Oh, I could be. Meanwhile, Redlands momentarily down to 10 men as Bricks is running across that byline there. Redlands physio going to meet him to administer some treatment. So they're a defender down here. The NPL side at the moment. They've defended that one away well. See those Adelaide supporters there just in the background, becoming more and more vocal as this game ticks along. Corner here to Adelaide. Ian Moore just giving some instructions out from the touchline. Wait this corner to be taken. Swung in towards the penalty box. And a narrow miss there for Adelaide United to potentially double their advantage.
Interested to see this one again. Looks like who came off the line there? Ryan Kitto came out and McGree went in.
And we've had a goal around the grounds in the FFA Cup. Garby, let us know what's going on.
Yeah, the deadlock has been broken in the big New South Wales Premier League clash between the Bonnyrigg White Eagles and Manly United.
That's got sellout written all over it.
And that's what they're dreaming of. And to do that, they have to win this game, and maybe, just maybe, that honour will fall to Bonnyrigg White Eagles. They've got the breakthrough. The set piece has delivered. And Bonnyrigg White Eagles take the lead here.
White Eagles scored by number 4.
And it is Michael Robinson.
Bonnyrigg White Eagles.
So the Bonnyrigg White Eagles, who are 7th in the New South Wales Premier League, take the lead over Manly United, who are 3rd in the New South Wales Premier League.
No one there in black to cover that one. Chandler. Puts it up forward here for Michael Lee. Getting towards the byline. Lee puts the cross in. Bit of hesitation there between McGowan and Galekovic. Well, the last 60 seconds or so, a couple of defensive mix-up and errors in the Adelaide United goal.
Well, that one came about because Eugene actually came for that long ball from Adam Chandler and had to retreat. And when a keeper's moving backwards, it's always difficult for him to get his position set. He got back between his posts. McGowan in good position to block that cross. And look, I don't think it was a real communication breakdown, but there was just that little bit of a scare, I guess, when Redlands had an opportunity to maybe sneak in.
Just half a flicker there for the Red Devils as we're about to see the second change of the evening for Adelaide United. And Riley McGree will be replaced by Jordan O'Doherty. And we've had a goal around the grounds in the FFA Cup. Garby, bring us up to date.
The Bonnyrigg White Eagles went up 1-0 over Manly United a moment ago, but we've now had another goal in that game.
A miss kick and he gets a spectacular goal. So Bragg in as a 10 by the looks of things, playing in the Chalakian role. There's a Bonnyrigg sweep forward through Kudrich. Kudrich! And that could be the seal of the youngster with a big, big moment. Bonnyrigg White Eagles with a 2-goal cushion. Time running out for Manly United.
So Bonnyrigg go 2-0 up, and in their first round of 32 FFA Cup appearance, look like they could be off to the round of 16.
So good news for Bonnyrigg White Eagles there. All their former players plying their trade in Brisbane these days. And at Lions FC, Phil Zanax and Tynan Diaz. Lions FC, we played in the round of 16 last year at Perry Park against Perth Glory. Have already wrapped up this year's Brisbane Premier League. Sadly for Lions, no repeat round of 32 appearance this year. They were knocked out by the Brisbane Strikers in the ultimate stage of the preliminary rounds. Of course, the Strikers went on to have a comprehensive 6-0 win against Darwin Rovers last Wednesday night up in the top end. Now Adelaide get into their attacking box. Again, another corner. Here's the result. No one's come to us with that wood fire or patio heater, Gossie.
I think it's too cold for them to even bother to bring it around. Look, I think Adelaide, as Pau Marty said, have to be happy with the way that they've played. Their style of football has been fairly expected and traditional of the way they go about their business.
Kruska, corner in.
They haven't been able to finish any opportunities off apart from the Ryan Kiddo goal that they have created, and that's partly been because of the numbers that Redlands have dropped into the box, and they've just killed all space, and to their credit they've done that well.
And more goals around the ground. Garvey. Seems to be plenty of action recently.
It was 2-1 to the victory in the All A-League clash. So the next goal in that game was going to be critical. Let's see where it's come from.
So nervous final 4 or so minutes, and as I say that, it's opened up for Calfella. This could be the icing on the cake. A huge chance to finish it, and they've done exactly that. George Howard buries this game. And surely now there'll be no coming back.
A defensive blunder there. George Howard finds the back of the net. He's the man who came on for Bessart Barisha. So Bessart Barisha scores, goes off. George Howard comes on, scores, 3-1 to the victory. Job done there. Off to the round of 16, the Jets go out.
About a half-hour trip or so in from Cleveland into the almost inner city Bowen Hills. Probably setting up for a long throw here again. O'Brien's already tried it once. He's going to try it second time round. All bar the keeper in the attacking half now. And White will come almost to halfway to try and put this one back into the mixer. Langley in. Here's Fife, the talisman. That throw-in will just give Adelaide United some time to reset. Plenty of the Redlands juniors in the grandstands this evening, and they're cheering their side on. Last chance here perhaps for Redlands. Bricks making a run down the left, it looked like. Adelaide about to make their third and final change. In fact, that happened just before this throw-in is taken. No, it won't be. So there's 7 Redlands shirts inside the 18-yard box. Long throw again. Comes here for Green, and he's being caught offside. Well, Redlands throwing everything at this one, as you'd expect.
They've got no choice. And look, they've done it well, to be perfectly honest. They've got into some good areas. They've put United under a lot of pressure, caused turnovers, stopped them playing out as comfortably as they have been in the earlier part of the game. But then you see the experience of A-League versus NPL. You get a clearance like that, you know the bodies are in the box, everybody moved up from Adelaide United as a unit, and it comes back in and Redlands bound to be offside.
So that third and final change from Adelaide. Ben Moreland replaces Ben Garuccio. Galekovic at the edge of the box. He spills it. And can you believe it?
I cannot believe
Michael
it.
Lee into an open net. And when all seem lost here for Redlands, it looks like we're going into extra time. Cossie, what's going on?
Well, I can only say Eugene Galekovic is not going to feel too comfortable about the situation he just put his team into. He came for that, misjudged it, tried to get back into his box and did not control the ball very well at all. Here we see the long clearance. United cut out the ball over the top again. Elric's actually tucked in quite well. Eugene's well out of his box there. Didn't need to be there. Could have waited for the wind to carry that through and gets in a knot with Tarek Elric, and the ball spills. And is it Michael Lee that puts the ball into an empty net?
Well, the crowd has gone absolutely crazy here. It looked like it was going to be all wrapped up Adelaide's way. And that is the end of 90 minutes. I couldn't hear the referee's whistle for all the noise. And Redlands, well, they do keep their FFA Cup dream alive at least for another 30 minutes. Unbelievable. So Stephen Green just having some last-minute corrections made to his boots. He's back in action again.
Bit of a tactical change here from Adelaide United as well, by the look of things. Marco Cheng going probably more to his customary role, a little bit higher up the field. Tarek Elric switching to the right back spot. And is it Ben Garuccio, I think, playing as a left full back, which is what we saw, the task we saw him perform at Melbourne City so often last season, and Ryan Kitto out in the left, his more customary role.
So Michael Lee is the leading scorer for Redlands in the NPL Queensland this year.
That's Ben Warren, sorry, as the left back.
And here he's again, Lee, zeroing in on goal. And obviously, that goal to Redlands will buoy them and give them some momentum coming into extra time.
You get a sudden adrenaline rush, and all of a sudden you know, when you're down and out and you're on the ropes and you manage to take a couple of punches and you just swing that last one in the hope that you'll hit the target, and they did, and it really picks you up. For them, they've got everything to play for. Adelaide don't have everything to lose.
Well, obviously it's a fresh 30-minute period. So they can rebuild and start again. Free kick though to Adelaide, just outside the box. There's Karuska. He's crunched between two Redlands players there. Free kick just being lined up. There's a big screen in here at Perry Park tonight, and the crowd could see a replay of that goal, and they well and truly enjoyed it. Those Adelaide supporters that were quite boisterous over there in the corner have now gone quiet once more. Some free kick taken in by Karuska. Here he is again. Norwich. Chested on. Forward there. Successfully. And we've had a goal around the grounds in the FFA Cup. Darby, bring us up to date on what's been happening.
It's a late flurry in Bonnyrigg. The White Eagles have gone 3-0 up over Manly United.
lack of desperation.
Eunice has seized upon the loose ball. Robbie Eunice, that is what he's all about. A half chance becomes a goal. The greatest goal scorer that the New South Wales NPL has ever seen has produced a trademark finish in the dying stages here at Bonnyrigg. Game over. The White Eagles are on their way to the round of 16.
Over the head of the goal scorer, Lee. And Redlands will make their final substitution of the evening. Stephen Green will be coming off. And coming in his place will be Tyler Bradley-Combe, a youngster with limited senior
Big lad,
experience. He is. Pretty sure he has scored in Redlands FFA Cup preliminary round run. Here he is, first touch, almost scores the goal. Redlands go ahead.
That's unbelievable.
Paul O'Brien, after the first touch on the park by the youngster Tyler Bradley-Combe, who did instead score, and Redlands win against Pinehurst, and the reigning A-League champions look shell-shocked at the moment.
It's a goal that really should never have come about. Adelaide had ample opportunities. You see here from the throw, when they're in the corner near the corner flag, they failed to block the cross over there. A lot of Adelaide United bodies, ball watching in the box. They're overloaded on one side, and the Redlands player free in the middle of the goal. And Eugene Galekovic may be a little bit slow getting down there as well. It was a good finish, take nothing away from it.
This is just an extraordinary comeback from Redlands.
You've got to give them credit because they've really, the last 10 minutes of that second half, when they had nothing, or they had everything to play for, and they threw everything but the kitchen sink at Adelaide United, and they got back in right at the death, and now they're leading. And fair play to them.
Well, at the moment, Green Gully, their win against the Central Coast Mariners last night, looking like it'll only be a 24-hour story because Redlands, all the momentum is going their way just at the moment.
It is, and the way Adelaide United are playing at the moment, you look at their body language, everything's sort of gone off the boil a little bit, their timing's off. Good effort from distance there as well from Michael Lee. You're right, Wraith, the momentum is in favour of Redlands.
Let's go to Nick Meredith on the sideline.
Yeah, Rafe, I'm over here with some very excited young Redlands supporters. The team's come back from nowhere. This is what the FFA Cup's all about. The crowd up here from Redlands, they're giving it to Eugene Galekovic. It's fantastic. Let's hope some of these kids really get the game into them from watching this spectacle. Look behind us here, all the Redlands fans. They're loving this. This would be the biggest upset in the history of the FFA Cup. Can Redlands keep it going?
Well, carried away there by White. And almost the equaliser found for Adelaide United. Well, fair to say that probably, through the first 80, 85 minutes, there hasn't been a lot in this match. But since Redlands have scored that goal to take it into extra time, this match has really come alive and changed complexion.
It was not so much a training game for Adelaide United, but they were practicing their shape and keeping possession. Scored a goal, doing quite well at it, but Redlands fought to the death, got back into it. Now the situation's reversed, and Adelaide United have to get something out of this.
And they might do so here! And somehow they've managed to clear that off the line, and they've got the free kick. Well, it's all happening now at Perry Park. The corner's played in. White struggles to get to it, took a touch off the crossbar, and it looked to be Jordan Elsey that has been adjudged to have committed the foul.
I think it was maybe Dylan McGowan a little bit in the action before that.
Too much, so much to keep up with now. This is 5. Excuse that one, it looked like. Ochieng. Elrich comes down the line, little touch off Karuska.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Rafe, because the wind actually picked up.
I think it has. I didn't think it was possible. I know my teeth are clattering now. The action's certainly very hot on the pitch at the moment. Ochieng as Elrich makes the loop around. Once again, plenty of red shirts getting back. Here's Elrich. Just sizes up his opponent off the left foot. And he gets to it at his near post, does Brendan White. Yeah, well and truly whipped up now, causing... If we take a look at that replay, White getting down low. Going down was Macaronis. Referee plays advantage. Ochieng loses out. Fife now starting to insert himself more and more into this game. Just slides past the youngster. Bronx cheer there from the home supporters.
Yeah, Ben Wallen probably a little bit ambitious and overly expectant with that ball into the box. Jordan O'Donoghue would come short. They're looking to play on that near side and maybe work their way into a more comfortable position to create a scoring opportunity. And he elected for the early ball in, miscued, and goal kick for Redlands.
Goal kick sent very long. Elrich. And SAS Karuska. Chandler on the Redlands bench looking quite pensive. As Adelaide build up an attack once more. And when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, nothing going really right for them at the moment. They've Redlands' stoic defence has basically knocked Adelaide completely out of their rhythm. There's no fluency anymore. Their passes aren't sticking. They're not as well directed as they were previously.
Here's Milekovic again. Fife almost getting something to it. And here at half-time of extra time, Redlands have taken the lead. Paul O'Brien, the scorer in this period of extra time. Home side Redlands 2 lead Adelaide United 1. Back to Garby in the studio.
Well, I think Nick Meredith nailed it there. This would be the biggest upset in the history of the FFA Cup. The current A-League champions, the former FFA Cup champions in Adelaide United at the moment, are 15 minutes away of being eliminated of this season's FFA Cup by Redlands United, a team sitting 4th in the Queensland Premier League. Incredible scenes over there. It would be only the 3rd time in the competition's history that a State League side or National Premier League side has beaten A-League opposition. OK, there are 3 other games that have taken place tonight. One of them was up in Canberra. Canberra Olympic are through to the round of 16 after a 1-0 win over Surfers Paradise Apollo. Glenn Lauder is our man there.
Yeah, Canberra Olympics' first sojourn into the round of 32. What a story, their 60th anniversary year. They were up against the lowest ranked side, still left in the draw in Surfers Paradise Apollo. They gave a good account of themselves in the opening few minutes, but just after the half hour, they were undone. Philippe Bernabeu Madrid, too much pace for Borko Tomic at the back, and it was a smart finish past Royer. It was 15th League and Cup goal of the season for Bernabeu Madrid. The Colombian was outstanding. Royer in goal for Surfers Apollo. He had to be at his best in the second half as well to stop Canberra Olympic from doubling their lead. First Madrid having a chance, and then Michael Reeve with the follow-up. Apollo weren't done. They really should have had an equaliser late on in the game. Lovely build-up play down the right-hand side of the pitch, and Burson Yormalaz missing from close range. Really should have done better, and it was his last involvement in the game. Surfers Paradise Apollo certainly not disgraced in this one, going down by the odd goal, while Canberra Olympic, they can dream of a massive potential A-League matchup in the round of 16.
Glenn, thank you very much. Right, a big 15 minutes in the history of the FFA Cup coming up now from Perry Park. It's back to our commentators John Kosmina and Rafe Griffin.
Indeed it is, thanks Garby. So the second period of extra time is underway. SAS. Chito. I'll ask you the obvious question, Cosy. What do Adelaide need to do here to get back into this match?
Well, they've got to basically really start to ramp up the tempo here. They might have to become a little bit more direct than they have been all night. The problem is that they don't have anyone in the box where they can basically stick it in the mixer to chase this game with. Jordan O'Doherty's probably 170 centimetres at best, and he's been very rarely sighted after an early flurry when he did come on midway through that second half. Kiddo hasn't been involved too much recently. There's tactical change with Marco Cheng going further forward, and Tarek Elric switching to right back hasn't really paid any dividends.
Chandler down the line. Just content to run off the clock a little bit here, Redlands.
And so they should.
It's 5. Back there for O'Brien. San Jose trying to insert himself into the action. Upended was Ochieng by O'Brien. O'Brien just content to stop Ochieng's progress towards goal. All good flick on there. Karuska with the flick on for O'Doherty. Couldn't get his shot on target. So, of course, with that goal that was scored by Redlands in the extra time period, it's now a total of $5,000 into the kitty for Redlands, thanks to NAB and the Golden Goal Initiative.
And they've earned it tonight. They've earned it the hard way. After, you know, long periods of no possession of the ball and Adelaide fairly dominant, they fought their way back into the game.
Left away by Fife it was. Kiddo Needs to get back into this game for his side. Warland. One just drifts in the breeze, inside out. Just a bridge too far there for Karuska to get on the end of it. Well, there may not have been too many goals compared to the other match days. In match day 3 tonight of the Westfield FFA Cup. But the excitement levels have definitely remained up there, particularly in this game this evening. Kitto tries to round Chandler. He's able to deliver the cross in though. SAS out on the right there now for Adelaide. Ball into the box. O'Doherty had his back to goal and then put over the crossbar.
Jesse Macaronis.
Back down to Nick Meredith, and how are the crowd coping there, Nick? There must be a lack of fingernails, surely.
Yeah, they're a very excited group of young kids here. They should be at home. It's past their bedtime. It's a school night, but they're not going anywhere. Who's going to win, kids? I think they're pretty confident Redlands are going to win.
Well, Karuska trying to weave his magic there for Adelaide, unmarked there. At the back stick was Kitto. Macaronis. Kitto again. Warland, the substitute. Just playing it around the edge of the box, Adelaide there. Elrich. Slide. Cross. Dealt with by the Redlands defence.
See there though, Wraith, the way that the Redlands team got back in and they funneled in and made that pyramid in front of the goal that basically Adelaide United just couldn't penetrate. More of the same.
Warland off his chest. Next to the back, staunching behind the goal. You can almost hear a pin drop here at the moment at Perry Park. 25 shots by Adelaide this evening, 6 to Redlands. More crucially, 2 of those 6 have ended up in the back of the net. At the end of the day, that's all that counts.
You call Michael Lee's goal a shot?
It would be counted as one. And Adelaide continue the fight here. SAS. O'Doherty just took a little bit of a heavy touch there. Redlands defender was able to recover. So yes, tries to get around Say Jose, successful in doing so. O'Doherty becoming more the focal point up front for Adelaide.
But the ball's got to stick when it goes in there, Wraith. Otherwise, they're not going to get any joy out of any forward forays.
McGowan earns inside the free kick from about 25 yards out. A hearty round of boos goes around Perry Park at referee Adam Kersey's decision. All the Redlands shirt inside the defensive penalty box here. White arranges his wall. Players crowded around the penalty spot as well. SAS delivers the free kick and easily collected there by White in the end. That there was plenty of pressure ready to be applied.
Just a little bit overhit. I think he probably wanted to keep that one a bit further away from White in the Redlands goal. It looked like it was Dylan McGowan that probably was the target, or the hopeful target.
Kruska. Kitto. Goal kick is the result. Well, Cosy, we showed that newspaper article at the start of the game. Any thoughts on what you might have had to have said in pre-game?
No, not at all. I said that they should comfortably beat a team like this, and if you look at the way that the game panned out early in the piece, that seemed to be the case. Adelaide deserved their lead. They had lots of possession, plenty of entries into the box and shots. Probably lacking a little bit of quality in that front third. But as Nick Meredith, Robbie Slater, I think, made the comment during the break between full-time and the beginning of extra time that Adelaide United took their foot off the pedal in that last 10 minutes and allowed Redlands back into the game. And it brought about their undoing, because once Redlands got that late equaliser, they gained some momentum, as they have now. They're not going to throw this one away.
Here's Lee, deep in the corner. Goal kick is the result. So 5 minutes to go here in this round of 32 match. Could this be the greatest upset in the short history of the FFA Cup? A half-hearted shout there with the collision between O'Doherty and White. How'd you see that one, Cozzy?
Oh, White did well there, I think. He was brave going in there, as was O'Doherty, for that matter. But I guess the size difference was a crucial factor in that equation.
Say Jose on here for Fife. Say Jose again. Redlands minutes away here from causing the ultimate upset. Bang on goal from Lee. And Lee, the fighter for his side out there. SAS. Can they withstand a potential barrage here? Redlands.
That was Jordan Elsey making that run forward, by the way, Adelaide United centre-back.
And still alive here for the A-League side. And again, desperate defence. Adam Chandler looked like. And the crowd are getting noisier. Even more on the far side. Again, cut out by Chandler. They'll concede the corner this side. So, time running out here for Adelaide to send this one into a shootout. Nervous final minutes here for Redlands players, coaches and supporters alike. Recycled. Getting the ball into the box from Macaronis. Danger here for Redlands. They're going to escape again. And the crowd react once more. Galekovic deep off his line.
Macaronis is struggling out this side as well after taking that corner and then knocking back in. He's carrying either a bad cramp or he's strained something.
Diving header, desperate efforts here from Redlands. Fife. The crowd go crazy if he can somehow.
They got the numbers here, Redlands, as well, Ray.
Here's Lee. He's got O'Brien on the outside. And perhaps a bit of fatigue just came into play there.
Maybe not a bad tactic, though. They've got to throw in it deep in Adelaide United's left back position. They can keep them in there.
Graham Fife has been playing limited opportunities off the bench due to injury. But he started, and he's struggling out there, but he's keeping on going. Here he is. This is Fife. Fife, angling towards goal. Galekovic beats him. And Galekovic gets it back into play. quickly once more. Kiddo. He's got room to move in here. Kiddo towards the corner of the box. White came off his line and his defenders came to his aid. And you can see on the faces of the supporters.
Great finish to this match.
Hanging on every minute. Never say die, the A-League champions. SAS here towards the edge of the 6-yard box where Elsie is skewed and wide left. Well.
And that's it, defender in a striker's position with a defender's finish. He should have hit that one first time, taking that touch. Just narrowed his angle, made it more difficult to see the target. First time finish, everyone's unsettled, and keeper's not set, better chance of scoring.
Into the final minute of extra time. The crowd, their noise levels have increased.
Well done, Redlands.
This is the ultimate upset. They were given very little chance going into this match. And they were down 1-0 into stoppage time. During regulation time, they found the goal. Redlands sent it into extra time. And a goal in the first period of extra time has sealed the win here for Redlands over the defending A-League champions. A remarkable result. And once again, it's the magic of the cup. Here at Perry Park, Redlands United 2 have defeated Adelaide United 1.
This has been a production of Fox Sports.